Now we're going to look at our decentralized autonomous organizations and how they work, what that is. So let's speak about the theoretical part, and I'm going to show you my presentation, which to some extent presents the basic notions, how they work and what it is about. So decentralized autonomous organizations. We know from practice what it is. So those are part of the protocols of the decentralized exchanges. That's what we know. But let's go deeper in our understanding what it is in fact. This is the system which is based on smart contract. As I mentioned many times before, the system is based on smart contract, and this smart contract regulates the rule how the decisions and how changes are made in the systems. So people, in simple words, people are voting for those decisions and make those decisions in the interest of the whole community, not just like in the interest of particular personalities or a narrow circle of personalities. So that's what's happening at this stage, when people are deciding what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do, and when they're gonna do, and make any decisions. So, but before starting giving you the examples, I want to dive in the history of how it arrived. That decentralized autonomous organization as a term, as a trend in cryptocurrency world, has big history, and I would like to show you the article, and in the presentation you can see it. So this is Ethereum blog, which was written by Vitalik Buterin in the year 2014, long ago. This is the time when main Ethereum philosophy was formulated, and the smart contract started to be developed. And this is a very old article, but it gives us the basic understanding how the decentralized autonomous organizations were invented or were set up. So they are talking about the definition, and they are focusing on decentralized autonomous organizations. So and they are trying to define what really autonomous is, and what are the differences between between different types of organizations. So in short, they have outlined. This is quite a scientific article, and it contains much of the philosophy between different terms. But of course, you can read it, and I will give you the link in our Telegram channel, educational channel, so you will read in details if you want. And they are trying to single out the key features of decentralized organizations. So the first feature, unlike the other organizations, just like simple decentralized organizations without any autonomous features, they have internal capital. They have a special, in simple words, this is the token or a token that can be used for making their decision. So they need to have money value or crypto value inside that organization. So this is one of the features that makes it really decentralized and autonomous organization, and people with that token are making decisions, as I told you before. So if compare this theoretical part with any other organizations, for example, BitTorrent organization, this is just a decentralized organization without any autonomous features, because they don't have the tool, they don't have the coin, the governance token, as we know it, which can define which can help to make the decisions and to develop the organization. This is just a decentralized organization which stays at the same level. So BitTorrent protocol is the same. Now it's in as a part of Tron ecosystem, but now it's the same as it was 11 years before. So it hasn't been changed too much, and this is just as it is, as something stable. But decentralized organization is a dynamic organization. So with the internal capital, they are just growing and making other decisions. They are changing, they are adapting to the world, making new decisions in the market. The second feature that you can see in this presentation is to judge how autonomous the organization is. So compared to typical democracy, in typical democracy, it's very important to have the major of votes to make the decision. For example, elections or votings for important questions and issues and decisions. So in democracy, it's very simple. So the majority decides on the whole community. In decentralized autonomous organization, it's not that possible. So the purpose is not to win with one decision, but the purpose is to make a certain balance in that organization, so it grows. If we compare, in simple words, with presidential elections in the U.S. Between Biden and Trump, so we can see that only one winner can take that position. So Biden has won by some procedures. They have elected him, but this is the final point. The whole procedure ends up. In autonomous organization, it's everyday decision, daily decisions practically, or weekly decisions that can help the organization grow. Like in real life, when in the family, you decide with your wife and your kids what to buy, where to go, how to spend holidays, and many other questions in daily life. So this is what you resolve in something like that. You resolve in your decentralized organization. You can't simply make a vote for every smaller trifle decision, like what to buy in your family. You need a system of making the decision. Okay, so if two people want to do something and one person is against, so that means that they can decide together within their organization. So if we take Bitcoin, there was an interesting case in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So in Bitcoin, it's pretty straightforward and simple. The line or the thread which is longer wins at Bitcoin blockchain. So this is the basic architecture in Bitcoin. But in Ethereum, there was an interesting case when a longer block was cancelled, or a longer chain was cancelled by the community, because the standards were mixed up, and in between two miners, and they have two chains. They had two chains, and they had to decide. So the community in Ethereum decided to leave valid the shorter chain, because it was easier for users not to do any upgrades, and to cancel the longer chain. So this is the difference this is an interesting case in Ethereum, and they have decided to with their community, of miners, they have decided on that and made this decision. So this is the way how autonomous organization works. And I think it's more with fine tunes, not like straightforward with the one final decision like in democracy. Let's go on to the to the last feature, and the last feature is involvement from humans. So compared to artificial intelligence, where humans are not involved, in decentralized organization, it's quite a major feature to have people involved. So that's why we can't make any decentralized organization if people are not involved into it. And in artificial intelligence, it's not important how many people are involved, because all the algorithm is set up like in blockchain. The algorithm is set up, and people can do only small changes. So those are three features that the author of the article, I'm not sure, it can be Vitalik Buterin, it can be someone, else in that respect, and they have those three features. So internal capital, to make the tool for governance, then the notion how autonomous the system is, so it functions autonomously, and the third one, involvement of humans compared to artificial intelligence. So, and let's go to the classification for the systems with internal capital, which Vitalik is given in this article. I think it's important to understand. I will give you just glimpses of how it works and what those circles, what those squares are. So for decentralized autonomous organization, humans are at the edges. They are on the periphery, and they're just executing the input to the system and getting the output. But the automation processes are in the center. So in short and simple words, this is just smart contract is at the center, but people are on the edges of the system. So that's how it works. If we look at artificial intelligence, vice versa, not vice versa, but it works differently. Automation processes are both in the center and on the edges, outside the center. So everything is automated, and no people are giving input. So the system grows itself, like in fantastic movies and books about race of machines. So this is how it's happening. So when artificial intelligence is growing, then on the contrary, on the opposite corner, to artificial intelligence, we have old boring organizations which are based on hierarchy. So CEO, or the owner, the founder, then the department, and then sub-departments, and those departments have their own structure inside, and people are working in that hierarchy and making the decision according to that hierarchy. This is not effective. It's taking too long, and it brings organizations to slow mode, so to say. And you probably worked at such organizations when every decision is being made very for a very long time, and it's happening. Sometimes this decision is not actual because the time has passed and the situation has changed, but the decision making mechanism is too long. All right, and the last corner in that scheme that is given in the article, robots. Robots, where all the humans are in the center. So humans are modeling the algorithm for robots, and automation is just a mechanical automation, like Boston Mechanics are producing such robot dogs, or robots for the army soldiers, robot soldiers. They can do whatever is programmed by a person. So human is standing in the middle, and automation is helping to implement what human has done, what human has designed. So on the contrary, of course, let's go back to decentralized autonomous organization. In our very first lecture and seminar, I was showing you this decentralized autonomous organization scheme, but now you can look at it with more understanding how it works, because it's very vital. So the algorithm, the smart contract, is working here. So in the decentralized organization application, and we can move to it a little bit later. I will show you in reality. Then, of course, our gadgets, so all our favorite tools, computers, mobile phones. We can use them everywhere, so we don't spend a minute without them, going with them everywhere, sleeping with them, eating with them, and going everywhere with them. And of course, people on the periphery, on the outside of the circle, when people are having some inputs through the algorithm, and this algorithm in the center gives them back the output. That's how decentralized organization works. And of course, you would like to have a more specific example how it functions. So I can remind you of that. We talked about that briefly when we were discussing the decentralized applications and decentralized exchanges. So in the decentralized exchange, there is a governance tab on the website. We were talking about MakerDAO, Synthetics, and many others, and some others. So you can have the governance or voting tab, and people just vote for the number of commission, or moving to the another version of the protocol, or changing the terms of participation in the pools, or adding some new type of pools, or new cryptocurrency added to the pools. So all those daily decisions, management decisions, which in centralized and typical classical organizations could be taken only by the directors, the head of departments, but the whole community is making those decisions. So that's the beauty of the decentralized organizations, and it's very uneasy to fake or to give any room for corruption in such organizations, because people are taking control, and even some part of the organization is corrupted, they still have the control. The majority has the control, and if people are convinced, if any decision is important, they can vote and make that outcome from the system based on smart contract. Okay, so let's go further on to the types of the organizations and what the DAO systems we have. There is a special term relating to it, DAOification, so making the real organization decentralized and autonomous. So what they do, in short, and I will show you some examples later. There are systems and platform, they create decentralized autonomous organization based on algorithm, and of course connected to your wallet, like you do with your decentralized app or decentralized exchange. You connect your wallet to it and use it with your wallet. So your wallet, as I told you again in DeFi 7 Miracles, that your address, your Ethereum address, your wallet address is your login to the system. So as long as you have control on that Ethereum address, you are locked. You own that decision. So you can create decentralized organization using the same method. You just create DAO by your wallet, by your Ethereum wallet in particular. Then the second function that any DAO system can do, they manage crypto protocols. So they can manage that protocols. That's what we see, by the way, in our decentralized exchanges when we can make the decisions. That's what I was talking to you about. We manage crypto protocols. So, for example, to lower or to make higher interest rate, or to add any type of pool in the decentralized exchange. That those mechanisms are being demonstrated in that function to manage crypto protocols. And the third one, and the most interesting one to me, potentially in future, is the jurisdictions for DAOs. So new areas or new, so to say, state in commas, of course, in state jurisdictions that can not exist in real states, but they can exist in ecosystem based on decentralized autonomous organization. So I would fairly say that this is something that can bring danger to the existing just state jurisdictions, and there are already such examples. Of course, they're integrated with companies, with states for now, but potentially, like cryptocurrency, stays above national currencies by their nature. The same with organizations. Jurisdictions can stay above state jurisdictions that we have currently on our planet. So no matter what you believe in, if you are a religious person or not, whether you believe God has created the earth, or it was evolution or explosion in the universe that has created the earth by some chance, and you can see that our earth doesn't have any limits, it doesn't have any borders, state borders in it. So this is one system, and those borders are artificial between people, and states are artificial. So the same for jurisdictions. So those jurisdictions can be treated as artificial ones, and like cryptocurrency stands beyond and above the fiat currencies. So the same can happen with DAOs, decentralized organizations. So, and this trend in future can be very dangerous for the system, because the natural conflict between currency and cryptocurrency and regulations, the same can be implemented and can be applied between jurisdictions, state jurisdictions and crypto jurisdictions. So this is something we can think about in future and ponder on in future, so that we could imagine what's happening in future, what's going to be happening in future.